We are live now. Okay, we are live. We are live. We're live. We're live. Hello, everybody. Hello. It's Old Man G with so many guests today. We've got Robin, obviously from Draco Evolve. We've got Saswat, a Liverpool fan. We've got Tez. We've got Kieran from Red Devil Weekly. We've got United Man Shane from United Man. We've got Shawnee as well. Good to see him as well. And today we're basically going to be doing our combined United 11 best Premier League era combined 11. So how this is going to work is that I'm going to basically just put up these guys combined 11s. They're going to basically give a bit of a talk why they feel that this is their best 11, etc. You guys give us your feedback in the comments, what you think, and then we'll take from some there. Now, people will be critically talking about it, which team's the best. And at the end of it, for those who are watching, if you want to let us know who you think has the best 11, we'll vote the best 11. We'll do it from there. So what I will do is I will start with the one I have uploaded first, which is Tez's. So what I'll do, just remove everyone except for Tez. And I'll get your list up here. Right, Tez, buddy. So this is your 11.
Yep.
I've been able to master. So just talk us through like why you think this is your best, the best combined 11.
Well, I've got plenty of goals up front. I've got blistering pace on the wings. I've got lots and lots and lots of captaincy in the middle, in the midfield and at the back. Also, I've got some good partnerships as well. Giggs and Irwin had a good partnership down that left over the years. And you can see that Trent and Salah are also operating on that right for Liverpool a lot at the moment. Goalkeeper speaks for himself. Easiest, best goalkeeper ever in the Premiership. He's got few stats there. 310 appearances, 128 clean sheets.
Okay.
What else? At the back, Stam, Van Dijk. Obviously, we had that issue, we had a discussion last week. Who was the best? I think we both agreed if they.
Oh, Tez, it looks like your camera's frozen. But I can still hear you.
As long as you can still hear me, I'll try and sort out my camera from going along.
Fine. Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah. Obviously, Dennis Irwin. He had 328 appearances for United. 123 clean sheets in that time. 18 goals. So that's not bad for a left back.
Okay.
Gerrard and Keena. That would be like a boss midfield. Both captain teams. So a lot of leadership, I think, back there. And going back.
Oh, you there? We lost him. Tez, you still with us? Ooh. Okay. We'll come back to Tez. Right. Okay. Drake, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, buddy.
Cool. Let me get your sort of your team up. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to zoom in as to my team. Okay, yeah, cool.
No problem, mate. No problem. So just some technical issues with Tez's camera, and we'll come back to him. Do you want to basically talk us through why you think your combined Liverpool United 11 is the best 11?
Well, keeper I'm not going to bother talking about because Schumacher is hands down what I've seen. You know what? I was unfortunate not to have watched the likes of Dennis Irwin because I didn't kind of be in football at that time, that period. Too young for it. But you can see I went for a bit of a 4-5-1, you can say. But equally, the wingers with Ronaldo and Salah can easily, certainly with Ronaldo, can play up front to perform a 4-4-2. But 4-3-3, 4-5-1, sorry, would be my ideal one. In the back, it was a tough one. I think Trent. I love Trent a lot. I think he's in a stat-dominated era. Trent's stats are amazing, especially for a fullback. He's suspect going back. Hence why originally I think I had Gary Neville in there, but obviously I had to choose half of United, half of Liverpool. But purely going forward, I think Trent, with what he does, not just crossing the ball in, but in terms of set pieces, I think I'll definitely give Trent a heads up there. I think right now, for me personally, the best right back in the world going forward is certainly Trent for me. It's a joy to watch. On the left side, Evra, you know what? I'm not. Every team needs a bit of a shit house in the team, right? Evra is probably that. He riles up fans, he riles up players, and I did enjoy a lot of watching him. Going forward, he does do he does his outputs a lot. His work rate is good. He's a driven character, driven player as well. Pretty much almost down to earth, and gave a lot for Manchester United. He still considers himself a Manchester United fan, I believe, even though he's not from he's from a French background. He does have a shot on him as well. We saw a few belters from him over the years. Back to yes. People will say Jaap Stam, but for me, I've Jaap Stam only spent a few seasons at United. But for those of you that know me personally, Vidic is my favourite defender of all time for a Manchester United shirt. No nonsense, puts his head on the line, and if you want a really aggressive defender, people will say that he's had a tough time with Torres, but I just had one stat on Vidic that Torres has only scored 3 goals against whilst Vidic was in the back 4 in 15 games. Vidic is an absolute powerhouse. The other centre back is Van Dijk, currently the modern centre back. Although I do like Koulibaly, I do like Skriniar, but Van Dijk for me is what, to have a stat where he hasn't been tackled past for about a year, I think, is something amazing. So having that sort of and he's got pass in him as well, so that complements Vidic very well. In the middle three, obviously Roy Keane is standard for me, the guy that made me fall in love with Manchester United in the first place. Leadership, driven, no nonsense attitude. Never let anyone drop their level of performance, regardless of the games, regardless of the minute of the game. And central midfielders, Scholes, gotta have him. Very much of a shadow player, very quiet, but comes up with the goods every time. His passing range is amazing. And Gerrard is probably my all-time favorite Liverpool player in this era that I watched. In fact, I go as far as to say that Gerrard. I do have an England Gerrard top, unfortunately, but I do 2004. 2004. That's how much I love that guy. It's not just the player itself. I think he's carried that Liverpool team for many years. You look at, I mean, he has a shot in him, he has a pass in him, that's for sure. But the box to box, the drive, the determination, Gerrard for me at that time was almost a complete midfielder. I did enjoy watching Gerrard a lot, especially when Manchester United played Liverpool. I always thought Gerrard was probably the biggest threat, despite watching the likes of Torres in the lineup and Suarez from back in the days. But I thought if we can win the midfield battle against Gerrard, we would probably have a handheld in the game. On the wings, Ronaldo, yes, probably his peak years has been on Madrid, but the years that he spent at United, winning the Ballon d'Or, helping us win the Champions League, the Premier League, the sheer number of professionalism and the goals that he's come up with from almost any angle, good in the air, fantastic player to have on the right wing. The pace as well, I think that's where I kind of had to divide between Beckham and Ronaldo. I did love them both, but Beckham never had that pace and the creativity to bomb past players as much as Ronaldo did. Excitement was the thing I referred to as Ronaldo when I watched United. Salah for me currently, it was tough between Salah and Giggs, but I think where Salah excels for me currently is how he plays the game. I think with the modern winger cutting inside, capable of both foots, obviously. And obviously the pressing, the gegenpress that Jurgen Klopp has installed in the team. Salah's work rate is immense. Do enjoy him. I do like him as an attacking player in that Liverpool squad at the moment. Look, up front, there was a lot of strikers to choose from. I was privileged to watch the likes of Torres, Suarez in Liverpool shirts, as well as the many United strikers. But for me, the team that I have is full of creativity, full of threats outside the box, and everyone keen. I mean, Gerrard, Scholes, Salah, Ronaldo can all take long shots. But the one guy I would want in the box, fox in the box, whatever you want to call it, is Ruud van Nistelrooy. If he's in the box and he has the ball, 9 times out of 10, that's going straight into the net. That's probably the why I picked Nistelrooy, to just have a bit of a balance to the team, someone who can stay up front, defend the shoulders, and to be honest, he wasn't the slowest player as well. He's good in the air as well. I think Michael Owen is a good shout on that, but I think where Michael Owen lacked is the aerial ability. He wasn't as good as Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think someone on the air as a striker, as a threat on that department, crosses coming in, especially from someone like Trent. You want Ruud van Nistelrooy to be in the box with his head, with his feet, whatever. He's gonna get you the goals. I think my team has a lot of leadership, a lot of creativity, a lot of pace, a lot of drive as well at the same time. And that's probably my. I'm happy. I'm generally happy with that team.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm just gonna bring in some people just have a discussion about it. So like what they think, and then we'll go on to the next. So I'll just bring in Shane here, Shawnee, and Kieran as well, and then Ez, I'll bring you in the second one. So, it's a bit windy on your mic there. So what do you guys think about this lineup?
Terrible.
Definitely could be better. Yeah. Room for improvement.
First of all, right, let's just be honest, right? There'd be no Liverpool players in this side if this wasn't a show, right? I'm just putting that out there. I'm just messing. And Draco cheated. Look how many Man United players he's got, right? We're supposed to be doing this evenly. Draco cheated. So Draco, you're disqualified, bro.
Hey, I would have played
No. Go on, man. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say Sir Alex Ferguson obviously would beg to differ because he was trying to get Gerrard at one stage. But
yeah, all lies and misinformation, Shawnee.
Selling his autobiography, I'm sure. Later.
No, it's a great team. Once again, I said on previous podcasts, like I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I respect all football players, including those from Man United. And Van Nistelrooy is undoubtedly one of my favourite Premier League strikers. So one thing I will do in advance is just apologies for my team because I didn't realise that it was only Premier League era. So I've actually snuck in some oldies from like the 60s and 70s into my
That's
team.
That's just because you couldn't find enough Liverpool players, Shawnee. Behave yourself, mate.
Apologies for that. My bad. Once again, exactly like your fellow was saying there. Like, there's loads of pace up front. You've got that command in midfield there. That loads of leadership. With a rock solid defense at the back and a great goalkeeper. So fantastic. I think they'd really be fighting over captaincy in that midfield there. So yeah, fantastic. Really, really good team.
What are you on about, mate? What are you on about, mate? There's no contest there. Keno all day long. Job done. Stop it.
Well, we'll give it to resident. So Saswat, you're there. What do you think? What do you think about this combined 11? Saswat, you there?
Oh. Yeah, the glaring improvement actually is Salah on the left-hand side. So I don't know how that will work. But obviously he must have figured out something to put Salah on, who is a very left-footed player, by the way, and who doesn't even cross the ball, and playing a goal scorer on the left-hand side. I mean, I don't know.
We can swap Salah and Ronaldo around, right?
Yeah, you can do that. But if you're doing a Manchester United and Liverpool 11, Ronaldo never played on the left-hand side. Obviously, as a team quality, you can do that. But yeah, this team is okay. I mean, it could be better, obviously. I would definitely pick Dennis Irwin, and because I know I get the point because he never saw Dennis Irwin as a player, but he saw Evra as a player. But I would say Robertson is a better player than Evra, although Evra has a better legacy. So yeah, apart from 2 or 3 positions, I think obviously I don't have any issue picking Van Nistelrooy as a striker. He's my favorite striker in Premier League era, as I've already said in the last podcast. So yeah, I don't have any issue with this team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him on the left back position, and certainly I think I haven't had the privilege to watch Dennis Irwin, but I did have a privilege to watch a lot of years of Patrick Evra. But yeah, I agree with you on that, on the Dennis Irwin and Patrick Evra little thing there. If I watched probably Dennis Irwin a lot more, then probably I would have put in Dennis Irwin because I've heard a lot of great things about him, and obviously I've seen the videos, but YouTube videos never do justice to anything. It's just 5 minutes of everything. 5-minute clips, but yeah, I agree with you on that, man.
Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, so move on. So I think I've finally got the graphics that I want anyway. So Team Takagi 1 shouts, there's too many United players. I like the one with Suarez. Okay, buddy. Okay. I will. So next up, who's next up here? Actually, okay, that's me. I'll go last. Actually, Kieran. I'll get Kieran up. So Kieran, are you there? I'll just again remove everyone out of the channel again, and bring Kieran in.
All right. Here you go. The best team. No, but anyway, I think, yeah, look, Schmeichel, I put him in goal. Obviously, we don't have to, as, Draco and others, I say, you don't have to really say much about him. I think he's probably the best. I was going to go with Edwin van der Sar, and my argument was going to be about longevity. Then I realised that Schmeichel actually played more seasons for Manchester United, so I decided to go with Peter Schmeichel instead. I put Robertson at left back instead of Patrice Evra, and I felt that it was either going to be Robertson or Trent that was going to go in the defence. Obviously, because we wanted to keep it balanced. And I put Robertson in there because for me, I like the journey. Now, obviously, you got Trent Alexander-Arnold as a hometown kid, and that's a great story. But, Robertson from coming from Hull City, being relegated, to now being seen as probably one of the best fullbacks in world football, I think it's an amazing journey, really. And I think in terms of fullbacks you don't want to come up against, this season, Robertson has proved very, very difficult. So I think I put Robertson in there. Also Van Dijk next to him. There's not really that much of an explanation for that. I think it just speaks for itself. His record is unreal, to be honest with you. It's unreal. Unfortunately, as a Man United fan. I've got Vidic next to him. I was thinking about putting Rio Ferdinand, but I think in terms of the styles of play, Van Dijk is very much similar to a Rio Ferdinand. So I thought he would need someone a bit harder, who's someone to do the hard-hitting challenges. I think Vidic would be a good partner for him. And also, the amount he won with Manchester United, the success he had, I think it was only fair. Then I went with Gary Neville at right back. A similar reason, really. I think, he did have, tremendous quality, but I think he also had a lot of leadership qualities as well at that fullback position, and also in terms of longevity as well, coming from one of the class of '92. So I put it in there. My midfield 3 is the same as Draco's: Keane, Scholes, and Gerrard. Keane, again, he was someone who was very much famed for his leadership qualities and being just an absolute Rottweiler on the pitch, but actually he had a lot of technical ability, and it sometimes gets slept on, his technical ability, because obviously you kind of see him as this hard man captain type, but actually he could do a lot with the football. And whilst I wasn't, privileged enough to be able to watch it live, what I've watched and what people have told me, he was an unbelievable footballer in his time. Obviously, Paul Scholes, again, another one that doesn't really, I don't have to really explain too much about. He was, again, superb. You got the best midfielders of all time complimenting him as one of the best ever. Players, Thierry Henry saying Arsenal literally had to make plans just to stop Paul Scholes, and that doesn't usually happen in terms of a midfielder. They usually say that about a striker or someone like a Ronaldo or Messi, but when you're saying that about one of your central midfield players, you've got star quality. And now I've got Steven Gerrard in there, and whilst he did give me one of my favourite moments as a football fan, when he slipped over, I have to put him in there just purely for that. But also, even as a rival fan, he was a magnificent player. Deservedly one of the legends of the Premier League era. Won the Champions League. I think if he won the Premier League, he'd be right up there. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get his hands on the Premier League, and probably deserved to in some of the seasons. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. But he was fantastic in there. And I think a partnership between Scholes and Gerrard as well, even though at England level we didn't really get to see that too often. I think actually a partnership between those two, with Keenan behind, it would be, an unsurmountable midfield. Then in the forward positions, I've gone with Ronaldo left wing. Still to this day, the best player I've ever seen play for Manchester United with my own eyes. I think even though he didn't stay at United for as long as some of the other guys, I think the way he played, the skill, he brought something to Old Trafford which I don't think many United fans had seen for a long time. And also the way he's gone on to be what he has now, through hard work and determination, again, is a very inspiring story. When with Salah on the right, I think Salah's had some brilliant seasons with Liverpool. He hasn't had the same sort of longevity, but obviously, I think it was last season or one of the seasons, he's getting a 40-goal season, in all competitions. But I think, again, he's one of the players that makes Liverpool tick. And he does get a little bit of stick as well from time to time for not being consistent enough. But I think he is a player who, in this team, would just, he'd get so many chances. He'd score bags of goals. And I think he just fit perfectly. And up front, I have gone with Luis Suarez. Now, this is the one which might be a bit controversial. I think for me, obviously Suarez, again, didn't have the longevity of the likes of someone like Wayne Rooney, who I was also debating putting in. But I think Luis Suarez, what he did for Liverpool was evil. That season when they almost won the title, he's seemingly scoring week in, week out, scoring hat-tricks and scoring ridiculous goals as well. I think ultimately the way he played and what he did for Liverpool in such a short space of time, especially considering he just came from Ajax as well, not someone who was expected to go on and do great things. And he's now, become one of the elite strikers in world football. I decided to put Suarez up there. But of course, I do think in terms of this team, whilst it's a brilliant team, I think there are definitely places which could be altered and changed. But yeah, I think if this team was, existing today and all the players were at their kind of peak, I can't see a team in world football that would be able to live with them and beat them. So I'm happy with that team. And let me know what you guys think.
Okay, well, indeed, let's just get some of the guys back into the chat. Get Tez in as well. Okay, and Shawnee. Okay, so what do you guys think about this? About Kieran?
I'm not going to say nothing because I'm just going to get in trouble. So.
Oh, go on, mate. Go on.
Kieran, you're a traitor, bruv. I never thought I'd say these words, man. How can you have Suarez ahead of Rooney or Van Nistelrooy, bro? Come on, man. Come on, Kieran. Man.
Well, I've got an explanation for that. Obviously, we had to make it even. I was thinking, like, who else am I going to put in from Liverpool? So I went with Suarez up front.
You do it Draco did and cheat, bro. Take one more Liverpool player out, bro. That's what you do. That's what you do.
I should have just gone the Draco way, too much. Thing is, I think Rooney definitely would have been up there. I think if it was a combined 11, I would have put Rooney up there. I think Suarez, I think he was an unbelievable striker when he was at Liverpool. He was a very controversial figure, not going to lie. Very, very controversial. Did things that he probably regrets now. But I think in terms of a combined 11, and maybe this is a bit more of a modern 11, considering, people like Dennis Irwin and things like that are definitely big shouts. And I think they're great shouts. And I probably... If I really was to consider this 11, I think I might have chosen a few more of them. Stam as well, potentially over Vidic. But yeah, I think definitely there are other contenders you could have put in that striker, 100%.
I just don't see how you can go with someone that bites people for a living in the team. That's all. Well, I'm just messing. I'm just messing. I'm just playing.
Oh, Kieran's lost us. So I'll give any other thoughts to Dracos and any other thoughts about Kieran's lineup before we move on to the next one.
Yeah, no, it's very you could almost, if you wanted to. It's kind of similar to the last one, isn't it? Apart from that, did the last one have Van Nistelrooy up front instead?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd had Neville at right back. Is my only thing. I can get, but Neville at right back.
Yeah.
United, Liverpool produced.
Yeah, the thing about like people like Neville and Suarez and players like that. It's just they didn't want to lose. You know, like that's like kind of like when it comes to my team, you'll see like I literally pick players that not only are they world class, but they're just like literally players that just they hated losing. I mean, I remember watching Suarez. We were 5-0 up against Tottenham. It was the one where I'm fairly sure we got bloody what's his name, the fella from Tottenham sacked in that game. We were winning 5-0, and Henderson didn't pass a ball through to Suarez, and he passed it across field just to be safe, to keep a clean sheet kind of thing. And Suarez was furious, and it took Gerrard to go up to him, just like going, Louis, we're up 5-0, buddy. We don't need any more goals. Just relax. Just don't worry about it. Yeah, he just hated losing. He just wanted to score. He just wanted to win. And that's kind of like Neville and Suarez and Keane. Like they're the sort of players that they were. They just did. If they lost one week, sure as hell they wouldn't lose the next week, because they just hated losing that much. They hated losing more than what they wanted to win. You know, that does make sense. So yeah.
You can't teach it either, can you?
No, that's just like instinct, like built into them.
Yeah.
The one thing I actually want to say is, for me, I never thought that any Liverpool or Man United, because at least the Premier League era, had like fullbacks who were world beaters. Obviously, we have Trent, we have Dennis Irwin, we had Gary Neville and Robertson as well. But I never thought of them as the best of the best. So when you come to my team, obviously you'll see I have no fullbacks. I will not play a general like 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 like that. So yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody is playing either a 4-4-2, at least at the 4 at the back. So yeah, that's Neville and Robertson. I think that is a very good combination, but I don't think they're on the level as all the other players in that team. You'll see a glaring drop when you see the fullbacks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Got a surprise for us.
Fair enough. Anyone else have any thoughts before we move on? We're going to do Shane's next. But anyone have any thoughts on Kieran's lineup? And also in the comments? No? Okay, I'm going to, and Tez, when you're on chat, I'll come back to you as well.
Can you actually hear me now, yeah?
Sorry?
Can you hear me now? I know you can't
hear you, man, yeah.
The camera's not working for some reason. Internet problems, I think.
No. Well, in fact, let's go. Let's actually, now that we're on, let me just bring up your team again, actually, and we'll just have a quick, just brief, because you did go through it. So this is Tez again.
Strikers, I know.
See, Rooney and Fowler. You want to talk through those?
Rooney is the Premier League's top goal scorer for Manchester United, which speaks for itself as far as goal scoring. And the same for Fowler. He's the top goal scorer for Liverpool. Gerrard's second, and I think Giggs is second for United, and they're both in the team as well. So with that team, plenty of goals, and yeah, I'm happy with it. I think I'm the only one that's gone for a good old 4-4-2, isn't it?
That's typical Tez, that isn't it? Hey, 4-4-2, love it.
Help it.
Old school, man. Yeah.
All the other guys at the moment are agreeing with the Peter Schmeichel at the back. I don't think it's much of an argument, really, but yeah.
And then just sort of comments about Tez's combined 11.
Go on, Shane, be gentle.
I didn't say no.
That's fine.
I've said too much already.
Shane can't be gentle when it comes to Liverpool.
Shawnee, I promise you I'm trying, man. I want to see Sean's team, man. That's all.
Yeah, my bad, guys. Like I say, I'll apologize way in advance. I didn't realize it was Premier League. So I was just like, I was on my day. I went through everyone. I was like thinking of like all of like the old Man United players as well. I was like, oh my days, I remember him. I was just like, this is awesome. My bad, guys.
This sounds like tactics to me, Shawnee. I'll be honest with you, mate.
Yeah.
Pure Liverpool tactics, mate.
If it was honestly, if it was Premier League era, it would look probably similar to what we've seen already. It would be sort of similar to that.
So what do you think of the 5 Liverpool players that's in there? In that formation?
Do you know? I think most people will go with. I think the only people most people won't go with is probably Fowler. Really, I think a lot of people will choose Suarez. I think people forget about Robbie Fowler. You know, me included.
Exactly. Yeah.
How good he actually was. I remember Robbie Fowler when I first watched him the first few games. I couldn't tell which foot he was.
Yeah,
I think he was he naturally right-footed or was he naturally left? I can't remember.
Naturally left-footed. Yeah, he was a left-footed player. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, he's so gifted.
That's one of the first things I remember about that.
Well, so that's what you're saying.
It's so sad that he had to suffer with a knee injury, and his career was cut short.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Okay, so that's obviously Tez's combined 11 comments on that. Let me know obviously what you guys think in the comments. We're going to go to Shane's combined 11. So again, just getting everyone out, and Shane is now going to talk us through why this combined 11 is the best combined 11. Do you want to go talk us through, Shane?
I'm just going to start off by saying I wouldn't have no Liverpool players in there unless I had to. Other than Steven Gerrard. Yeah.
Just a comment from Stu MC on his Liverpool fan. Gerrard ran ragged, by final. Hanneman changed that game. He was always babysat by Herman Alonso Mascherano. The fact that Xavi converted to a CDM of Sociedad shows his class. So basically, there are Liverpool fans in this chat. You need to bear that in mind, Shane. Go on.
You got the wooden spoon out there. Now, in all honesty, Alisson, the choice, I'm pretty sure no one would have picked Alisson. And that is purely because I was playing by the rules, unlike Draco, and I was trying to fit the Liverpool players in as well as United players because I wanted to try and get Nistelrooy, Scholes as well. Basically, the whole Alisson thing is he's current. He's probably the best goalkeeper in the Premier League at the moment, on form, I'd say. Robertson, I think Robertson's going to have a very good career overall. I think he's going to surprise people with how consistent he'll be throughout his career. And I think he gets overlooked a lot. That being said, Van Dijk speaks for himself pretty much. I did actually go with Stam there. The graphic.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at it. I made a mistake. It's Stam and Van Dijk for everyone.
Yeah. For everyone that knows me, they'll know that Stam's my favourite all-time Man United player. Defender, I should say. So it's Stam and Van Dijk centre backs. Wan-Bissaka, I think he'll have a tremendous career, going down in history as one of the greatest defenders. Injury preventing that. What he has, you can't teach. You can learn going forward and doing better. Not forgetting that he got into Crystal Palace as a winger, as a right winger. So he knows he's very good at dribbling. He's very good at dribbling on the ball anyway. So, but what we can't forget, he was actually brought into Crystal Palace as a winger, and was successful in doing so until he had to go in and deputise for, is it Joel Ward, who got injured in training and went up against Will Zaha, and then Will couldn't get past him, and then the rest, as they say, is history. He will go down, I believe, and this isn't just me. You've got likes of Martin Keown, Alan Shearer, Carragher, Neville, all calling him at present, at 22 years of age, the best one-on-one defender in the league. So that in itself, and he's potentially got another 10 years at Man United starting. You can't really say too much about that. Scholes, when you've got likes of Zidane, Xavi, Ronaldinho, Iniesta saying that he was the best player that they'd come up against in their position, speaks for itself. Roy Keane, leader extraordinaire. Gerrard, listen, for him being a Liverpool guy, you've got to give him props. He is what he is. He was Mr. Liverpool. Got them their Champions League trophy on his own, pretty much. Ronaldo speaks for himself. Mo Salah, I had to put another Liverpool player in. Simple as that. And then my favourite striker at United is Ruud van Nistelrooy. And listen, if he would have not had as many injuries and stayed longer, for me, he would have been close to Shearer's record, not just Man United's record. And that's my team.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I think that's a good defense there. I'm just going to bring obviously everybody back in. We'll have a few comments. So obviously Palmeiras has said in the comments that midfield is default argue the best Premier League midfield ever. So, fair enough. So
Palmeiras, my brother.
Draco and just everyone back in. Okay, so thoughts on Shane's
come on, let's have it, lads. Come on.
Well, I definitely agree with the double Virgil van Dijk at the back. I mean,
I knew you'd say that. It's actually meant to be Stam. Stam. My guy, Stam.
Sorry, my bad.
That would be brilliant, though.
No, it wouldn't. No, it would not.
I mean, at one stage, if we could clone 11 Steven Gerrards, we'd just have 11 Steven
Gerrards.
Oh,
my gosh, surely.
We'll consider a lot of goals.
a lot of last hit slips, yeah.
And a lot of red cards as well.
Oh, dear. I think give Steven Gerrard some props, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing is, is there anyone aside from Salah that could play on the right wing?
Mane.
I'm talking.
You know what? Back in the day, right before the Ox went to Liverpool, or maybe in his early days at Liverpool, he was playing on the wings, man. And for me, he looked dangerous there, Oxlade-Chamberlain. And I still to this day, I know he's had a bad knee injury, so I don't know what his situation is like that. But for me, playing in central midfield is probably harder than playing on the wings. Some would say, but for me, Ox could both beat a player, and he had a serious cross on him, and he's got a dangerous shot. So I don't know. I don't know if his days playing on the wing is over. But how old is Oxlade-Chamberlain, by the way?
25.
So what's that?
How old?
25, 26, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was going to say 26. Yeah. I mean, he had a serious knee injury, but he looked good when he came back. He scored 2 goals in the Champions League. So he looked pretty sharp, but I think Liverpool had just been really careful because obviously it was a serious injury. So,
anyone else have any comments specifically about obviously Shane's combined 11?
Just say it's the best. That's all. That's all we need to hear, lads. It's the best. That's all. Johnny, I'm waiting to hear it from you, bro. Come on, let me hear it. It's the best.
The only one, statistically, like I say, I prefer Van Nistelrooy over Rooney myself because I was just I thought the guy was amazing, really, really wonderfully gifted footballer, and I mean footballer. He had a football brain. There's times there was a wayward pass and it would just fall to his feet. He just read the game beautifully. Always a pass there. He could do anything. And so Van Nistelrooy, when it comes to my team, the only reason why I picked somebody else was literally because statistically, he didn't maybe do as much as some of the other United strikers did. But Van Nistelrooy, absolutely agree with. Like I say, this kind of team would just strike fear into any other team around the world. No team in the world would want to face a team like this.
Yeah. Do you know what I said? What I said before about Robertson? I was saying I know he does get credit, but I still feel Robertson is underrated when it comes to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent gets a lot of hype and praise, whereas Robertson, I feel, is the more overall the better player. Going forward, he's brilliant going forward as well. He's got a brilliant cross, and defensively he's really good. So
yeah.
I'd be interested what Saswell thinks about this. You could argue, Liverpool thinking about it's not like a Liverpool channel, but I can't think specifically right now of a better left back in the world.
Robertson.
No. Based on form, I think, if I'm not biased, I would say Alphonso Davies is the best left back in the world, based on just form, pure form. Because this guy has been very consistent, and especially this guy is 19 as well. So you have to also consider that. And this guy's, I think, is better than Robertson going forward. And defending is not as bad.
Who's that? Did you say is better?
Alphonso Davies.
Alphonso Davies from Bayern.
Oh, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
That guy. He reminds me of David Alaba in 2013. So he was just
he pushed David Alaba out of the team, isn't he?
Centre back, innit?
Yeah. Fair play. That's a good shot.
Centre backs are dead, man. The centre backs are dead. They have Sule, Boateng, and Alaba. None of them are like good quality players, but whatever. So yeah, Robertson. I think based on last 2 seasons, I think he is the best fullback in the world. And also, I agree with him that he's not getting the appreciation that he's supposed to, because Trent is very visible going forward, and he racks up stats. And I think someone said that we are in a stats living era.
Age.
So obviously,
yeah. For sure.
So obviously, whatever Trent does is going to be on the books, going to be on the records whenever, like 20 years, 30 years down the line, Robertson's actual contribution wouldn't be given on a paper, just like Paul Scholes. His contribution cannot be directly on paper. Just like that,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And so going on, Saswat, I'll put your team, Saswat, your team up next.
Didn't mess it up.
So I will. Where is it? Yes. Okay. So again, everyone out.
It's
there you go. You go for it.
People are going to be a bit surprised, but just Keane would be on the same line as Paul Scholes. Both of them, Keane as a central defensive midfielder and Scholes as a deep lying playmaker, somewhere around that, just like Andres Pirlo. So this I went with a 3-5-2 Antonio Conte system, like an old school 80s, 90s, like defensive, solid at the defense, but great going forward as well. So you have Van Dijk, Stam, and Rio Ferdinand. I don't think you can get a better backline than that, even if you have your fullbacks. The reason I didn't put any fullbacks, because I never thought that we had, both of our teams at any point of time had fullbacks that were like called the best for like 5 or 6 seasons on a stretch. That's why I never considered having any fullbacks. And for midfield, midfield picks for itself: Gerrard, Scholes, and Keane. By the way, my system is 3-5-2. You have Giggs and Ronaldo. I think it's a strange one, because me being a Liverpool fan, I think I have put the least number of Liverpool fans in this team compared to others. So that's a very strange thing, but whatever. You have Giggs. It's a surprising thing that people have Salah over Giggs, because Giggs, in my opinion, is very underrated for what he did. So I'll have Giggs in the left wing, especially as a natural winger. His only job is to cross the ball, because I have no cover. I have cover. Van Dijk will cover the entire left-hand side, and Rio will cover the entire right-hand side, and Stam will just solidify the defense. We have Ronaldo, who will definitely... I have actually said this a couple of times in HH's podcast as well. For me, the best version of Cristiano was during the Man United period, where he was a skillful winger who could cross the ball, who could take free kicks, who could rack up numbers in terms of assists and goals, long shots, penalties, everything. This guy had everything in that team. Obviously, he defined in the earlier days of Real Madrid, and then he turned into a goal scorer. But my preferred was the skillful Ronaldo winger on the right-hand side. Mostly Gerrard as a number 8, that speaks for itself. And the forward line, Suarez and Van Nistelrooy. Suarez was very adept in playing a 2-strike partnership, especially with Sturridge. His best season came with Sturridge playing as a strike partnership. So there's no argument with that. Both of them, like, you have 2 killers up front. I don't think anybody can argue with this team. So it's very stacked going forward. And in the midfield, you have the best midfield the Premier League has ever seen: Keane, Scholes, and Gerrard. Although you can make an argument for Dennis Bergkamp if you are playing as a number 10, but we don't have a number 10 in the system. Gerrard is a number 8. And the backline is the best 3 defenders that I've seen in the Premier League. And Schmeichel picks for itself. I don't have to say anything about Schmeichel. Best goalkeeper.
I think that's a very, very good defense, and I think that team speaks for itself. Let me just get everyone back in to have their say. So I'll start with Draco. Actually, what do you think about this team?
Look, on an individual level, that team is quite impressive. I do have a reservation on not having any fullbacks. I think in the modern game, where the opposition fullbacks normally is almost played as a winger, especially in the top teams, that could be affected. That could definitely have an effect on that team. Yes, he did say that Van Dijk can cover the left side and Rio can cover the right side, but they're not naturally adapt to that position. I think centrally they're more effective. So I think that team going forward will get a lot of goals. I mean, a lot of goals. But I think in a modern football where the fullbacks are expected, especially in the top team, to attack and bomb down and play as almost like a wingers, that team might struggle in that sense, especially leaving, say, Stam as a lone sort of central defender. But other than that, the whole of the team going forward is amazing. I mean, the midfield speaks for itself, really. I think I could make a case for Lampard, but this is a combined 11 for Man United and Liverpool. But yeah, that's my 2 cents there, man.
Draco, why are you trying to break the rules, man? Why are you trying to...
Mate, you're the one that included 2 Van Dijks in your team. Bad shame. You set you up there, man.
yeah, man. Do you know what? That formation is interesting. I don't like. I used to play this game called Ultimate Soccer Manager Football, yeah, and I used to employ the same type of formation, just like, you know, like all-out attack, 5 man up top, and then the midfield 2 have to do all the running, and then you got 3 solid centre backs. But to Saswat's point there, when he said like those 3 centre backs, probably it's hard to argue against them 3 as a whole being like the best centre backs in the Premier League era individually. It's going to be one of those situations where it's going to be, we'll try and score 1 more than you, I suppose, with that formation. But I think Suarez and Nisser up front, that guarantees you goals. Ronaldo guarantees you creativity and goals. Giggs, creativity. Gerrard, goals. Yeah, man, it's a good team, but I just think it'd be too open defensively. That'd be my only reservation.
Okay. Fair enough. Does anyone have anything else to say about a combined 11? Before we move on to, I think Sean is next. I think. Any more comments? No. Okay, no. Fine. Okay, we'll get Sean. I'll get just Sean's up. I think that's not Sussex. Sorry, Shane. No, I uploaded the wrong.
Like I say, my bad, guys. I didn't realise that was Premier League era.
Oh, sorry, I haven't.
Look at Johnny come with the excuses already, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, I literally, because I wasn't. This is Old Man G. He texted me at like 12, and he was like, "I'll quickly chuck in your Man United 11, Man United Liverpool 11," and I had no idea it was only Premier League, so I just chucked it in.
Sean, I think this is actually yours, but I haven't changed the title, so it still says it's Sasquatch combined.
Yeah,
it's actually yours.
Oh yeah, handsome.
Yeah, this is actually your combined 11. That's why I got confused. Sorry, apologies about that.
Yeah. So good.
So yeah, you talk us through this 11, Sean.
Yeah, a really tough one. So like, I'm a massive Van Nistelrooy fan, but I think even Tez was saying earlier that Rooney's like, he's up there with Shearer in goal scoring records, and I think just his ability and also versatility was fantastic. You know, one of the best that we've seen in the Premier League. And like I say, the people who are behind him, obviously you got Dalglish just in behind him, because he was creative. At the same time, he could go forward, take people on, score goals. Once again, I apologise that I didn't realise that we were doing just Premier League.
Don't worry about it. Just go on.
Suarez and Ronaldo speak for themselves. Absolutely world class. And when I say world class, once again, it's just when I look at world class players, it's people that do it consistently, but at the same time, they just don't want to lose. You know, they're literally they're furious at their teammates and furious at themselves if something goes wrong. You know, to the extent that they might even bite people. You know, that's how much they want to win. That's how much they want to win. And Ronaldo, probably, one of the best. I would go as far as to say now, from what he's achieved, even abroad at Real Madrid and at Juventus at presently, probably the best striker the Premier League's seen. So yeah, it's very, very attacking. That's why I couldn't fit Scholesy in anywhere, because I needed some people that could defend, and that's why I put Keane in alongside Gerrard. Once again, two really, really passionate midfielders. Gerrard, his passing, he used to be able to rake 70-yard passes. That's how we won the FA Cup 1 year against Arsenal. He raked a 70-yard pass to Michael Owen. Michael Owen was just left with Tony Adams to run up against, and we scored and won the game, won the FA Cup. But it was just out of the hat, It was just the ball came from being defending against Arsenal, and then he just raked it 70 yards all the way up to Michael. Just phenomenal passer of the ball, could score, could tackle, at the same time could get red cards as well. But at the back. I literally can't think of. I mean, like I say, I grew up with a Liverpudlian dad, so I couldn't really. If it was obviously Premier League, I'd have Stam there, and yeah, that would just be an absolute rock solid defense. Or Robinson instead of and Wan-Bissaka instead of Trent and Alexander-Arnold. I'd probably swap them around to fit a few more Man United players in there to appease you. You fellas on this wonderful channel. And Schmeichel, once again, probably the greatest goalkeeper that I've ever seen. Alisson's still yet to prove himself. He's got pretty much a whole career ahead of him. Still yet, really. He's only just starting to get into his stride. So hopefully at the end of it, I'll be able to fit Alisson in. But at the moment, Schmeichel, absolutely just so passionate. Just wanted to, the penalties that he saved. You could just tell he just wanted to save it. He's just a fantastic goalkeeper. So yeah, hopefully everybody enjoys that. Even though Shane was talking about breaking rules. I don't think anyone has broken as many rules as what I've done trying to fit into breaking as many rules as what I've done. So hopefully I am forgiven, and tell me what you guys think of my team.
Well, that's already what Shane thinks. So we'll get him for a second. And Stuart says, tell that fellow Patrick Berger raked that past Owen's goal against us in 2001. Gerrard mythology.
All right.
So it was Patrick Berger raked the pass for Owen's goal, as opposed to Gerrard that made the pass to him. I think is what GMC saying. Okay. Right, let's get everyone back into the chat again to discuss. Shane already looks like he's had his say via the comments. Does anyone have any thoughts on Sean's combined 11?
Someone say something, man. Come on.
Okay. I'll just try to be diplomat. On the left-hand side, I would actually put George Best if you're doing an all-time level. On the right-hand side, you can put Cristiano as well. And through the middle, you actually have an argument. You can put Kenny Dalglish or Bobby Charlton if you're doing an all-time level. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, I don't think I have any qualms with this team. Keane and Gerrard, obviously the two best midfielders, and the defense looks a little bit shaky on the left-hand side, but I obviously haven't seen Kennedy and Hansen. So, yeah, they aren't even recognized, in my opinion, as the top backs in the world football, even when they are breaks. I wouldn't say I know a lot about them. So, yeah, I would actually go with his knowledge. Yeah, I'll say it's a solid team, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, anyone else have any thoughts on Sean's team?
Shawnee, you don't want me to start. You don't want me to start on this team, bro. Come on, man. Jericho, say something, bro. Look at it, because I'm about to pop in a minute. Come on, man. Say something.
I'll let you
I'll let myself out.
I literally have no comments on most of these players because I haven't seen them play. So I can't really say. The only bit of thing that I can probably agree on is Gerrard and Keane. Pretty much it. Sorry?
Rooney?
Really? Yeah. Nah.
No, Rooney.
Nah, my one's Nistelrooy. I love Rooney, but Nistelrooy's the one for me. But I haven't seen any of these players that you mentioned play, apart from YouTube videos. But I know these don't really count. But yeah, just no comment.
It's that good.
Look, Shay's trying to speak. He's muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shay. There's
Just
a lot of feedback coming in.
Just keep him muted. It's all good. Just keep him muted. It's fine.
Shane, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? What do you want to say about Sean's team?
Do you really want to hear what I've got to say, Sean? Sean, hey. All I'd say is Alan Hansen was a very good centre back, and yes, but this is not this is a Premier League era team, Sean, right? And even if it was, right, how are you going to have Dalglish ahead of Best? Tell me how that works, Shawnee. Come on, talk to me.
Yeah, I think I was also just thinking about gelling it with like the modern day. So I was thinking to myself, okay, like how could we sort of get a good team together that sort of can fit in any era? And George Best, I don't think would have been fit enough to sort of last him.
Did Dalglish win a Ballon d'Or? Did Dalglish?
Look, G went there. G went there. But what I like though, what I like though, right, with Sean is like he picked 7 Liverpool players, bro. Like everyone else tried to be fair. Sean picked 7 Liverpool players. I like that, Sean. I like that. Do you know, we will do that though. We will do like an old school team as well, maybe.
Yeah. I was gonna hope that depending on how this was, I was gonna do a video like before Premier League era and after Premier League era. So this was kind of like the after Premier League era, and then like in the next video when we do this, we'll do one like combined 11 for like the before the Premier League era, which would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier on, like if it was just Premier League, it would have looked very, very similar to what everybody else had. And like I say, I completely agree as well. Like Rooney and Van Nistelrooy, that it's very, very difficult. I'm a bigger Van Nistelrooy fan than I am Rooney fan. But if I had to, if it just on statistics, basically, Rooney being the just behind Alan Shearer, it's just I just had to just chuck him in there.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
Sean,
I think
Sean, play by the rules next time, bro.
Absolutely,
play by the rules, damn it.
I'll read the fine print, the small print. My bad.
Fair play. Sean's been ripped, so I think I'm the last one. I think, and then we'll leave it to the comments, and then we'll have just the final discussion. Who generally people think is the best team? Leave it to the comments, and then that's a wrap. So I will. Yes, I'll remove everyone. It's just me. Well, I can't just be me because I can't hide myself. You know what? I'll bring in Shane. Shane can human me. Let me get my okay. So because I also stream to the United Man's channel as well. So please head over to United Man's channel to subscribe and support him. So this is my combined 11. It's not that dissimilar. I think the only obviously Schmeichel in goal. I don't think anyone. I think that has been the consistency from all of our teams so far.
G West Scholesy. What have you done?
Okay, so
what have you done? Oh my gosh, G! You see how I said that Kieran's a traitor. What have you done, G? My gosh.
This is where Shane, chill.
Oh, what?
Obviously, the rules were that we had to get like half and half, so 6, 5, 5, 6, and had to get key players in. And I wanted to go with because obviously, it's actually I'm going to ask the question at the end who the manager of this team should be. So I'm going to ask the question at the end. But I wanted to go with 4-2-3-1. As opposed to 4-3-3, which means you have to play with like 2 defensive minded midfield players. And I didn't think I could play Scholes in that position. That was why. If I'm playing 4-3-3, then I would have. But in a 4-2-3-1, obviously, as I said, Schmeichel, I think almost everyone has said Schmeichel bar one. I think it was Draker that said Alisson.
I said Alisson.
Oh, you said Alisson.
Yeah,
so I didn't know. So that isn't even so. Like, you're not in a position to criticize me. If you put Alisson in goal over Schmeichel, So
no, man, that's not as big a one as Scholes. Even Scholes out. And Gerrard, bro. Look at this.
Sit down, man. Sit down. Anyway, Van Dijk and Stam. I think that's again. I think picks itself. You could argue maybe Vidic, Ferdinand, or obviously if you're going to go back three. Sassuolo is right in regards to the idea of fullbacks. I guess the only thing I would say is that I feel like, I guess you wouldn't necessarily describe Irwin in as a modern fullback, but I think he was such an adaptable player that I feel that if he was playing in long term in the modern era like now, I think he would become that easily. So Irwin for me, definitely on the left side. Trent on the right, not just because of what he's achieved, and that we have to balance this with Liverpool players. So this is where it's interesting because, like I said, I want to play two holding midfielders in my formation. I think I'm the only one that's gone for probably a 4-2-3-1.
3-1, yeah.
You have kind of done variants of 4-3-3, 4-4-2. So because of that, that's why I thought that Scholes had to sit out. I've just realized it's an error. What Salah is in the middle, it should be Gerrard in front. So that's why Alonso, who I think was actually quite underrated when he was at Liverpool.
He was.
Next to Roy Keane, I think for me would be quite a solid, formidable thing, So just protecting that back four, I think would be pretty solid. Then in the front, it's actually supposed to be Gerrard, not Salah. So Salah would not be at CM. So sorry about that. So Gerrard in front. It was going to be between Gerrard and Scholes, and the only reason why I put Gerrard in front of Scholes is because I had to balance the numbers, and Scholes had to sit out, and I wasn't going to put Scholes as a holding DM or on the wings because we've already seen how Scholes being on the wings just hasn't worked for England. So
England, yeah.
Gerrard is there. Then on the left, Ronaldo, and I appreciate that he didn't really play there specifically, but again, I think I'm going for adaptability. And we know that certainly at United, his best position was on the wing as opposed to up top. And he's just a quality player. Then obviously on the right, it'd be Salah. And then in front, only because I love this guy, and this is the guy who basically, made me, become so passionate about Manchester United. It's Eric Cantona. I think just the swag.
Put your collar up, G. You got to put your collar up, bro. Come put your collar up, bro.
Exactly,
yeah,
guys.
It's true.
He just the swagger. I mean, you need a player forward who, if he has no problem going into the stands and just kicking a supporter, for that. I'm going to post a reaction video about that at some point as well. But it's something, and he was a very good quality player as well, in my opinion. So what was able to do up front and the ball, even though I would argue played more as a second striker,
yes,
but for the sake of getting him into this team, I put him there. So that's
a deep line forward. Is that what you call it nowadays?
Yeah, exactly.
Or a second striker, like you said. Yeah,
that's what I would say, as opposed to out and out strikers. So I'll just get everyone back in and see what their thoughts are, and what do you guys think?
Yep. In my team, I actually thought of putting Cantona ahead of Suarez, I guess, because Cantona as sports striker, I think that was his best position, I would say. So other than that, the thing is, I actually appreciate you including Xabi Alonso because I wanted to include him for some odd reason because Hulter and Keane were successful at Manchester United, so I had to omit it. So apart from this, I think this team is very solid. Apart from this Salah and Gerrard swap, you should swap them. Salah on the right hand side and Gerrard on the middle.
That's what I was supposed to put. For some reason, I didn't spot that error when I was making these graphics. But yeah, that's Salah should be right and Gerrard should be in the center, as opposed to whatever that you can see in front of me there.
Yeah, shout out to G at this point though, because obviously you set it all up and do all the graphics ready for all of us. So I appreciate it, man. Keep going.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
it. Thanks for even letting me put my team out there, because you probably.
Sean, the less we say about that, the better. Let's just move on.
Does anyone else have any thoughts on this lineup?
Is Kieran and Terry still in?
Tez is here, but I don't think Kieran is. I've tried to message him, but I haven't got a response. So he might have been busy. But okay. Terry should still be here.
Yeah, I'm still. I do like the back five, exactly the same as my one. The goalkeeper and the back four. So I like. Keane, I think he's in every team, isn't he, Keane?
Yeah, he is.
Cantona was a good shout. I do agree. He's like a second striker. So, I do like that. And he was the catalyst of everything that went good for Man United after he come. And Alonso was a nice little addition as well. Yeah, so, good team. I will say that, Shane, I am not angry but disappointed that you're the only one that didn't push Michael.
That was just playing a game, man. That was playing a game. Jacob, put your phone down, bro. What are you doing, man? That's just me trying to fit in the Liverpool players. So I know what you're saying, though, Tez, man. I'm disappointed in myself. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I would be. I'd go and have a talk in the corner.
Stand in the corner and think about what you've done.
Have a word with yourself. So here's a question. Before obviously we wrap things up and we give it to you guys in the audience and let
Alex Ferguson.
Is that agreed? Is that I was going to say
Bill Shankly.
Who do people think the manager should be?
Modern day Premier League.
Someone that's managing now.
Yeah, someone from the Premier League era. Probably Ferguson. Yeah.
But hold on, is it someone that's managing now or someone from
just from the start of the Premier League era?
Okay, so it's got to be Fergie in it, really. I'd imagine.
His achievements speak for themselves, don't they?
Yep. I think that's probably the easiest choice, isn't it?
Great.
Yep. I mean, there's no argument really. Although I would say, even if Klopp was in this system here, in any system, I think he could actually mold these players as well. I think he is going to be the next Fergie, at least the one who will at least come close to Ferguson. Yeah.
Do you reckon he'll stay around that long though, Sass? Yeah.
Now, I think he will stay max for 15 years. Like he came into Liverpool in 2015. I think 2030 is the max he's going to stay. Because the reason I'm saying 15 years, because this, Klopp, I don't think he looks for challenges, but because he's feeling very comfortable at Liverpool, and I don't think at any club he would be given that amount of power and that amount of control. If any team he goes to. Doesn't matter if it's elite or even like if he goes to a sleeping giant like AC Milan or something, I don't think he'll be given that much of power. So I think he'll be staying 15 years, and I think he'll retire after that. Or
I'll say about Klopp.
Maybe manage Germany.
He could go to any team and do what he's doing. I think Klopp could. That's how good Klopp is. I really do believe that.
Probably be a Germany manager one day.
Yeah.
I agree with that one. I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because there are too much politics going on in the German national board. So, especially keeping Joachim Löw. Yep. Well, that's the reason why Joachim Löw has been he's still the German manager. This guy should have been sacked at least 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I must admit, I don't know much about that.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know.
Okay, so I'm just supposing, let us obviously know in the comments, for those obviously who are watching live, or for those who are not watching live, let us know which team you think is the best combined United 11 team. So, and I guess the last question would be so does obviously everyone here thinks their team is the best team, but could there be a general consensus, possibly, by Voxy, to see which team do you think is the best, or certainly the least, which team is the best, certainly with which players that we can all kind of agree had to be in this team, because there are clearly some players.
There's Keane, I think, was the most regular one.
Schmeichel.
Oh, sorry, we've got one at a time. So, Sean, sorry, say what you're going to say.
I think Keane was like in everyone's team, no fail. Like that was one that everyone agreed on, rock solid. There we go. We've got one vote.
Sean's the best. Votes coming in. It breaches the rules, so it's an automatic disqualification.
Don't anger Jane anymore.
I didn't say anything then, though, Sean. I kept quiet then.
I can see you.
Oh, dear me.
I think in the group, we've all decided that Keane, Schmeichel, Van Dijk, Gerrard, I think they're all they're in mostly everybody's team apart from Shane's, you know. I'm not going to say no more, Shane.
not mentioning no names, Tez? Listen, don't forget G didn't have Scholes in his team. What about that? I can't believe that.
I gave my rationale. It's funny because I would defend Scholes sort of, but I gave my rationale. I have to play with two holding midfielders.
But sorry, G, do you need to play with the two holding midfielders when you got a defense like that?
Well, like it wouldn't concede any goals, would it? You know what I mean? It'd be like a team that would grind out like wins. You know what I mean? So like you couldn't clean sheets, and we'd win like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 because we'd be so solid you couldn't get through it. Whereas for your teams, your midfield might have been too attacking, and like the exposure from the counter attack. While Keane was solid as a DM, like he didn't have like a lot of pace, really. So if you went past him,
he'd kick you.
Fair play.
He would kick you, but then he gets sent off, which would cause problems. So you need to have some of a bit more kind of like, that's what I think.
Do you know what's funny as well on that point? Obviously, back then we'd get a lot more. The rest would let a lot more go, wouldn't they? Compared to now. So players might struggle.
It's true.
Anyway, I'll win, lads. Thanks for showing up. I'll see you next time.
Well, so far the comments are one for Sean and one for Shane. So
come on, Palmeiras. Let's go, bro. Let's go, Palmeiras. My guy, Palmeiras. Let's go. Yes.
But certainly let us know in the comments. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for coming on. Big shout out all these guys for coming on, for Sasquatch, for Shane,
cheers, lads.
Draco, for Red Devil, Tez, Shawnee, just everyone that will just got involved with this. Really appreciate it. And hopefully we can bring you something like this. I'll bet I'll be a bit more organized with it in the future. So take care, everyone.
Thanks to G as well for setting it all up as well.
Yeah, cheers, man. G.
Agree. Yep, 100%. Well played, G.
No problem. Right.
Awesome,
have a nice day, guys, and cheers. And